Sure.
Not the friendly confines that they were yesterday, was it out there? I mean,
No, I think actually I was very surprised at how soft it was. Still, it doesn't necessarily make it like easier with the wind, because then the scoring opportunities, you're worried about the ball ripping off the green, which I did and Denny did multiple times. So yeah, it's a tough track. I mean, top 25 for me out here feels like a win anywhere else. So I wanted to shoot. I knew going in it was going to be a tough day, and I had my goal on 3 under and an 18 fairway. So that was going to be. I had plenty of opportunities. I hit really bad wedge on 5, and I didn't get up and down on 2 par 5 screen side. So mistakes I don't typically make. I made a few of them today that cost me a chance at that, but playing well. Got a couple more weeks here before I get ready for the Masters.
Why do you say that 25? Like, what is it about this course that makes the top 25 feel so good?
My history. I was kind of half kidding, but my history here isn't great. But just don't play with a lot of discipline, and I didn't today. I mean, I thought I should have birdied 10 and 11, and so I get on 12, and instead of just bailing outright in the collection area and making birdie, I'm trying to hit a driver and on the green and make the birdie easier, have a chance at eagle, and I hit one in the water. It's just like I just do that every single year here. I just don't have the discipline to accept like 11. I did everything right. There happened to not be any sand in the bunker I was in, and sometimes that happens. And so it bounced, and I end up making par where I think I make birdie. So I'm like, man, I got to get that back. And you get sawgrass sometimes. And actually every round everyone gets sawgrass to an extent where something quirky happens, and if you have the patience or you're just playing as good as Scotty is, then it goes well. But my aggressive nature and inability to accept sometimes not making birdie when I thought I was going to makes me make too many mistakes on a course that you can't get away with it.
If I could ask about Scotty just real quick, he's chipped in on consecutive days from some impossible positions, kind of like you. Is there something about the way he plays that reminds you of you around the greens with his imagination?
He's got great hands. He's got every shot. And then at this point, once he won last year and obviously won the Masters, I feel like his when you're presented with those shots, if you don't feel like you have house money, you play them a certain way. But if you feel like it doesn't matter, you're going to play the shot that could go closest, even if it means disaster could happen, you still sit there and go for it and pull it off, similar to how Phil Mickelson played most of his rounds. But I'm saying I can't use examples of Scotty before he won. I'm not saying he didn't play that way. I can go off myself and saying that, when I started to feel like a couple years out here and having some success, I started to just trust flop shots and stuff where instead of making sure you have a putt at it, you're like, no, I'm going to try and see this go in. And I feel like he's just playing like that. There's nothing to lose, everything to gain, and for him, and it's a really nice place to be where he's at. I've been there, and it's a really fun time playing golf that way when the ball does find the cup like that too.
Jordan, how much hard?
Kind of had a run where things were really going my way back kind of 2 years ago. I got kind of the right bounces a couple times last year. But as far as, runs like that, probably 15 through 17, 2015 through 17.
Do you think they're more like once-in-a-lifetime runs?
There's one guy that created a career out of a run and became the best ever. So not necessarily, but I think that, and I honestly, I hated when it was called a run for me, so I don't want to call it a run for Scotty. I mean, he's playing really, like, even if he didn't have those 2 chip-ins, he's only leading by 4. So it's also to win golf tournaments. You hole putts or you chip something in, and everyone does it during the week. But he's a guy who's going to be, it's really exciting. I mean, tee to green, he's as good as he's ever been right now. And with some flair and some stuff around the greens and making some putts, he's a guy that's hard to beat. I play against him a lot at home, and consistently he's he's shooting really low rounds, and when I feel like I get the better of him, it's a boost of confidence right now because he's arguably the best player in the world right now. He and John and Rory have, I guess you guys have all written about how that change has gone down, but it's easy to say right now that I consider him the best in the world. Current situation.
How did you make that shift where you go from a place where you can sneak up on some people and win some tournaments to where everybody's expecting you to do well, and now he surprised people last year, but he can't do that anymore. How do you make that mental shift?
Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of a shift of just managing expectations, but a lot of it comes down to blocking out the noise. And I think I could have done a better job of it. I feel like I didn't have a whole lot to draw on of people necessarily before me, and I probably could have reached out to some people to handle it better in certain situations. Maybe a tournament or two would have made a difference, but all in all, yeah, it's something that I'm not really sure where that is for him right now, but it should be pretty high with what he's been able to do over the last 14 months. That golf is pretty incredible given, he lost in a couple playoffs, and I mean his top 10s are off the charts. He's just playing that good, and I think the team around him and the way he's wired, he's extremely grounded. He's got, really good parents, great family structure. Randy Smith's been around for a long time as coach, and he's been with him forever. So I don't see it changing. He's in a good position to be able to continue to do this for a while.
Jordan, Scotty and Teddy had a bet where he had to make 10 hole outs in the year. He's already made, today was number 11. Did Teddy make a really bad bet, or how impressive is already 11 hole outs?
I'll be honest, I think that Teddy made a bad bet. I mean, I've had it with Michael. We've had it at 15 or 16 in a year before. So, I mean, I think Teddy will probably reevaluate considering we're not even midway through March. So I don't know if Scotty actually might be a good bet because it's already over. Maybe he'll make a new one and win the press. I don't know.
Outside of the fact that you're standing here on Sunday, what do you take out? What positive do you take out of the week?
I continue to improve putting. I maintain ball striking. So I'm really happy about that. And I lost five or six shots on 3 driver swings. So I just got to go back and improve on that. But to answer your question on the positive side, I don't feel like I lost any ground. I feel from last week. I feel like, if anything, things feel even better. I just kind of a couple driver swings, a little bit of discipline that I had last week and I didn't have this week. So Tampa's a tough track as well, and then Austin's a tough track. So a very similar kind of style of golf course is still coming up. With Augusta being the outlier and Hilton Head being kind of back to last week and this week's style. So a lot of similar grasses and stuff like that, overseed, and so just try to continue to sharpen the axe a little bit. And I don't like losing by 12 plus shots. I felt like I was closer than that this week, and last week was only 2. It's nice to feel like even on your weeks where you don't win, you're within a certain margin. So you're like, all right, I just need to improve a stroke a day somewhere. Scotty's making it look a little more challenging right now, but if you throw him out, it really was about a stroke a day from having a chance. Yep.
Jordan, thank you.